Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy X HD Remaster. Alright, so we are starting off in Remiem Temple. We've got a little bit of dialogue and then we will get into some Aeon battles.
Welcome, Yuna.
What is this place?
Remiem Temple. Once a great religious center in the Calm Lands, lost after the battle with Sin.
And this is your home? What? You got something against company?
It's a long story. Easier perhaps to show you.
You're dead too.
Don't send me just yet. There is still one thing left for me to do here. With the help I can give, a young summoner might just be able to defeat Sin. Well, Yuna, I challenge you. If you cannot beat me, you'll never beat Sin. Very well. Before we begin, now, are you ready?
Okay, so our first battle in this series is going to be against Valefor. So it'll be really easy. I usually just end up summoning Bahamut here and smoking all of these. One thing that I think can really help you out here is if you've got, I mean, honestly, these are all really easy. I suppose maybe unless you've neglected Yuna like to an extreme extent, then maybe these are a little bit more of a challenge. But again, I thought that these ended up being very, very easy. One of the things that you can do though is to teach Bahamut haste. He's honestly, I think Bahamut is the best candidate for that. I think it's just the rest of the Aeons can't break the damage limit quite yet, and so I don't think the rest of them are really worth using. But again, you can teach Bahamut haste, and that might help you out. The only way, though, is if you were able to steal enough chocobo feathers prior to this. So that would have been from the Cactars on either Thunder Plains or in Beaconel in the desert. And, hopefully you stole some from there. And again, at that point, it's probably, or at this point, I should say, it's probably a decent time to teach Bahamut haste. Now, if you weren't able to do that, or if you didn't steal or whatever, you don't have any of them right now, that's fine. I think it's the third battle here against Ixion. The reward is some chocobo feathers, so that's coming right up.
Stop. That is enough. You have made some progress, and for that, I am glad. Take this. It may come in handy. You've got quite a name to live up to, daughter of Braska. Very well. Before we begin, now, are you ready?
Okay, so this is the second battle here. This will be Ifrit, and I'm kind of interesting. Ifrit actually round 2, since we've actually already beat Belgamine's Ifrit once, way back, feels like a lifetime ago, on Mihan High Road.
Choose your Aeon well, son.
Alright, so same deal as with Valefor. I'm summoning Bahamut again. Yeah, I don't know. Again, Bahamut's got break damage limits, so I just think it makes sense. But, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think if maybe my perception's a little off on how easy these are, or maybe they just always have been super easy, and I just yeah, don't really remember. It's been years since I've done this, and I don't think I've ever really been this leveled though at this point with Yuna specifically. So again, I might just have a not the best perception of how strong or how easy this actually is, but yeah, boom, hit him with the overdrive and he's done.
Stop. That is enough.
Stop, that isn't. I'll be honest, I haven't had enough, so we're gonna keep going.
You have made some progress, and for that, I'm glad. Take this. It may come in handy.
X potion times 30. Oh, those will come in handy later.
If you've got what it takes to beat Sin, I should be no more than a bump in your path, right? Very well. Before we begin... Now, are you ready? Choose your Aeon well, Summoner.
Okay, round 3 with or versus Ixion is going to look a lot like the other two. Yep, just summon in Bahamut and let him rip. All right, let's see here. Whack. 4.8k. My guess here is I'm, likely just to smack him until we'll see if I even get my overdrive. Oh yeah, it's looking like we're gonna get there. Ixion's actually doing decent damage. I think I was actually a little bit worried. And it might not actually be a bad idea to teach Bahamut a healing spell as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any elemental spells that he can absorb, so you'll have to teach him Cure, or like Lancet, I suppose would work as well. I don't know if we've got the ability to teach him that though quite yet. So yeah, I guess just keep that in mind. I didn't end up needing to, but yeah.
That is enough.
Down to what was that 1.7k? So Ixion got him pretty close actually.
You have made some progress, and for that, I am glad. Take this. It may come in handy.
Okay, so there's our reward, which is the Chocobo Feather times 10, which again you can use to teach your Aeon's haste. I don't know if I did that right here, but I hope I did. Again, because I think it makes sense. Oh, and of course I didn't actually do it.
I will be the judge of your Aeon's strength. Are you good enough, I wonder? Very well. Before we begin... Now, are you ready?
My body is ready. All right, this time we are taking down Shiva. Same strategy. Bring out Bahamut and wreck face.
Choose your Aeon well, Summoner.
Choose well. There's really only one choice. Let's be honest here. All right, let's bring him in. Again, I actually wish I would have taught Bahamut haste here. There just really wasn't a reason not to. I had plenty of Chocobo Feathers already, and I really I didn't end up. I don't think I've used another single one for anything else. I think you can put SOS haste on your armor, which is at least kind of interesting. And actually, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, kind of in hindsight, that wouldn't have been a horrible thing to put on. There was times here and there where I did get into, kind of critical status, and so that would have been at least somewhat useful. But anyways, again, Shiva is pretty evasive, and so impulse isn't a bad idea. And it's looking like, yeah, Shiva will heal herself a bit here and there. And so, yeah, we'll just have to keep hacking her down. Okay, wow. Okay, so I must have crit that first time. I did like 13,000, I think, and then that second time I only did about 6k. I think impulse is actually pretty slow too, which is, you know, kind of stinks, but at least we're landing hits as opposed to, you know, just having her dodge them. She's already critical, huh? Or no, that was it. Okay. Okay. Well, didn't even need to use the overdrive. Alrighty.
Stop. That is enough. You have made some progress, and for that, I am glad. Take this. It may come in handy.
60 mega potions. I don't know if that's so great, but whatever.
If you've got what it takes to beat Sin, I should be no more than a bump in your path, right? Very well. Before we begin, now, are you ready? Choose your Aeon well, Summoner.
Okay, so going up against Bahamut this time, which means I am summoning Shiva. It's kind of funny, the AI kind of teaches you how to, I guess, play as Shiva, which is probably already obvious. You know, attack, and if you take any damage, then you can cast Blizzaga. I think it's Blizzaga, or maybe it's only Blizzara. I'm not sure exactly which spells she has access to right now, and I don't even know if I ended up using it. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting overdrive really, really quickly. And as I had stated, actually, also when we were fighting against her, Shiva is very evasive. She's got a very good evasion rating, so oftentimes you'll just, Bahamut will just whiff or miss. And so yeah, that's a good one. All right, so yeah, she's got Blizzara, I suppose, right now. So all right, only the second tier spell, but that's fine. Yeah, boom, back up to full, and back into dealing damage. And yeah, well, it looks like Bahamut's already in critical condition, so going quite well and quite fast. You'll have to be careful, maybe, potentially. It depends, right, on how strong your Shiva is. But you may want to, or you may need to be careful now. So when its countdown is over, you can use the. It's not boost. What's the other one? It's not boost. Is it just defense? No, shield. I mean, it's called shield, right? It's basically the defend command for the Aeons. So. Yeah, to try to weather Mega Flare. But there I just got Diamond Dust for the second time, and that was that.
Stop. That is enough. You have made some progress, and for that, I am glad. Take this. It may come in handy.
Okay, so that is the Flower Scepter. That's one of the items that's needed later on in order to get the Magus Sisters, which is the final summon of the game. We're not going to be able to do or get that for quite a while yet, but yeah, I guess at least that's part of what we need in order to get them. So I think is it the flower scepter and the flower crown or something like that? I think it's just the 2 items. But yeah, again, we actually won't be able to get that for quite a while. I think that's one of the rewards for the monster arena, and I don't remember exactly, like, specifically. I'll try to do just a guide on the maybe on the Meg Sisters specifically, or maybe I'll just throw in all the optional Aeons together. I don't know. We'll see how I end up handling that, but. Just know that we're not able to, unfortunately, get them quite yet. But all right, so that at this point we've done everything that we can at the Remiem Temple for now. You can actually fight Belgamine and her Aeons more, but I don't find it worthwhile. I think that there's better. It's usually like, okay, eight strength spheres or something like that, and I would rather just get those somewhere else, like capturing enemies. Okay, so at this point now, I'm going to head on over to the Monster Arena, which is the eastern side of the Calmlands. I really like the Monster Arena. I think it's one of the most interesting aspects, it's how you power up your characters, I guess, is the real reason why I like it. I also do like the kind of like the lore behind it here, which the old guy here explains that. Lord Meehan constructed the Monster Arena in order to train the Crusaders. So, it even, like, thematically makes a lot of sense. But, so the idea behind it here is that we're going to be capturing fiends from all over Spira. And I'll be honest, I mean, it's time-consuming, and some of the monsters can be a real pain to find, and so that aspect I don't love about it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll, man. And I'm tempted to do a little bit of a more in-depth guide on it, but I also really don't want to. There's just so many. There's just so many monsters, and so it's just it can be a little bit. Yeah. I mean, as I said, time-consuming. But anyways, I think so. What I did here was I bought the taming sword. So that's and obviously, so we need special weapons in order to capture the fiends. I went with the taming sword, the catcher, and the iron grip. So I did not capture with Ornn. I didn't capture, which I normally do. Excuse me. I normally put or get a capture weapon for Ornn and then put piercing on it, because that just kind of goes along with Ornn's theme, right? As his ability to, take down the heavily armored enemies. But I did not do that this time, mostly because I wanted my team to stay Waka, Titus, and Riku. And so, I didn't go that route. But what I did here was and I think this is very important. I think you want to put first strike on Titus's weapon. Okay, I think some of the most dangerous battles in the game are when enemies ambush you, and it can be really dangerous if you don't have the appropriate armor equipped. And so what I do instead was put first strike on Titus's weapon, and the reason for that is because if I do get ambushed, sometimes I'll just flee, right, and then I won't have to deal with the enemies from that point on. And I can just try again, right? We can just, get into, or go back into fighting random encounters. That said, though, again, it's very important, I feel like, to have first strike. I think that's a number one priority. The second thing I did was to, or at least I think it's the second thing, was I actually did put piercing on Waka's weapon, which maybe seems a little bit weird, but When I wanted to capture, I actually kind of used Waka as my, I guess the one that would, you know, capture the enemies. That were armored. The other thing that I did, if you notice there, was I put Stone Strike on Riku's weapon. Now, if you don't have enough petrified grenades right now to get that, that's fine for the time being. But I definitely recommend that if you're going to use Riku, because Riku is not very physically strong, and so I think it works out fantastically well. You know, she's just not very physically strong, and so she needs something like Stone Strike to kill enemies. And it's funny, but or maybe it seems a little weird, but you can actually capture the enemies that you've petrified. So it's in my opinion, a fantastic way to, you know, be able to capture things with Riku. So I feel like at this point now my bases are pretty covered, right? We're going to be protected from ambushes. We're going to be able to just, you know, Stone Strike with Riku a lot of different enemies, and then also the things that maybe are potentially immune to Stone Strike. Then we've got the piercing from Waka's weapon. The piercing, I don't know how important that really is. I should have re-examined like all of the different enemies that are immune to petrification just to see if that even helps. Because if not, then piercing is pointless on that weapon as well. But anyways, this is how I did it. It ended up, I thought, working out really, really well, and I was really happy with it. But all right, that is going to be it for this one. As always, I hope the guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.